How's everybody doing tonight? I'm your host, Abe CS here for Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Tonight we have Werewolf Wednesday. For those that are tuning in on Restream, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And also for those who follow my Sherbrooke TikToks under Abe CS895. Hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. I don't know how long I'm going to be live tonight due to have to close tomorrow on the house. But I'm doing a little bit behind the timeline. I was supposed to start at 11, but I was looking for something. I was looking over my old phone where I have a lot of footage, and I tried to send that through Messenger, but I guess it didn't send all the things that I was transferred over and never send them. So I'm gonna have to redo all that again to transfer them over to my phone so I could debunk the footage or pictures. And that's what I was gonna try to do tonight, but it didn't happen that way. So let me share out this live feed. Share out this live feed. Who do we got here? We got Ronan the Voice. How you doing, Ronan? Let me share out the live feed. Well, sometimes when I share them, I don't even know if it makes a big difference or not. But I share them out to the couple of groups that I'm in that allow me to share my content. There we go. We're all shared out, brothers and sisters. Who do we got here? Oh, we got cousin Jesse. How you doing, cousin Jesse? Yeah. So I guess I didn't set up my old phone to the Wi-Fi, and all the stuff that I was trying to transfer over didn't go through. And I spent like almost an hour or hour and a half transferring, trying to send everything. It seemed like it was sending it, but I guess it did not send nothing. So I'm trying to transfer whatever footage I had on my old phone that I haven't shared out over to this phone through Messenger. Yeah, it is, cousin Jesse. Werewolf Wednesday. Werewolf Wednesday. Uh, so yeah, I had a lot of footage I wanted to share with y'all, but you know, I couldn't transfer it over. So I'm gonna have to find a way to transfer it through Messenger and then download it and work on the pictures and stuff like that. But hopefully I can do that after this live. Let me see what we got here. It's never a Werewolf Wednesday without a certain werewolf that we share here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. This one's from Elms Grove Estates. I mean, that's his territory. Elms Grove Estates, just where it resides, I guess, in the woods. So it's very territorial. It'll mark its territory. When it comes down to, is it real? Is it not real? Well, it could do a lot of things. The I've seen shredded bamboo, like it shreds bamboo. But the only way you can shred the whole length of a bamboo probably would be with a claw, in which it leaves a lot of bamboo, shredded bamboo all over the place. There's where it bark is missing off of trees. Um, you got logs, uh, logs or tree stumps blocking the path, like just letting you know, don't come in here. You know, it'll put certain things in the path, or is like letting you know, don't go in there. Uh, I think the last time it dropped a tree, and the tree is literally fell over onto the path itself. So it's right over the path of Elms Grove. The tree is leaned over the path. Uh, Sometimes you find like tails of animals like cats, dogs. I'm talking about the big tails of dogs. I'm not talking about little puppies. I'm talking about big tails. Let me read the comments here, and I'm going to drop a link for cousin Jesse. See if he wants to jump on. I know he's always tired from doing the therapy. But I'll drop a link for him right there. So we got a question here. Yeah, you can ask any questions. Watchman says, if you think a physical animal is a problem, think again. I don't know. I don't know who you are, man. I mean, we have open mic nights Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you ever want to jump on and say what do you have to say, but I've never seen you here before. So, you saying certain things is you're new here. I've never seen you here before. I mean, I don't know who you are. So to me, your comments, you know, uh, b- uh, I don't know who you are. This first time I ever see you on here. So I don't know how to address you. Normally, the people that are always here, you know, we're a family here. So you're an outsider right now, and you come in here and you say you think a physical animal is a problem. LOL. Think again. Well, animals can be they can be very physical, man. They can do some damage, but there's other things in this world that can be dangerous too. Imagine something that'll attack you in spirit. But sometimes I believe that there's beings, I call them DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim, that they do everything intentionally. Like I was saying, shredded bamboo, blocking the path. They do things intentionally because they want people to believe of the lie that's been being spread about Bigfoot for a long time. They want people to continue to believe that Bigfoot is real, but it's not. It's demonic. So if we continue to do the same thing, it's because if people run into the wood, they run into the shredded bamboo, or oh, that's a dog man. To the footprints, oh, that's a Bigfoot. If they run into the logs covering the path, or locations where supposedly they built a shelter and all this stuff, or supposedly they give them something, well, all that is a belief factor. Uh, but if there's no Bigfoot, if there's no dogman, then what is it? I think it's to lure, right? Lure people in. to believe that it's real. And you got some people doing that, man. You got people out there doing building shelters and doing all the things just to deceive people. A lot of con artists, a lot of hoaxes right now. What do you think about that, cousin Jesse?
Well, first of all, hi Primo, hi Cocaine Werewolf, hi everybody. Uh, there's a lot of people out there that like to offer and build. So yeah, man, there's a lot of scammers out there.
I see it. People send me videos of this and that. I said, man, that's AI. I can tell it's AI. I can tell it when it's a person in a baggy costume. I can tell when it's the Roach Queen pretending to say, "No, mommy, no, mommy, no." It's his voice. It's not a ghost.
I'm telling you, man.
It don't take a genius to figure it out.
Uh, Watchman, 1399. I
That
don't know
that's
who
what
you
I'm
are.
that's what I'm trying to say, man. You never been here. You never been here. I don't know who you are. You probably Roach Boy or Roach Queen. Uh, but I'm saying that they have capabilities to manifestations. When the I call them DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim, because that's what they are. They have demonic capabilities because of the Watchers. They got destroyed during the flood, and the only thing that's left is their spirit. So that's why we see a lot of dark shadow figures or disembodied dark unclean spirits, because that's what they are. They're demonic in nature, and they're manifest to the color, which is black, which means unclean. So like here, right here is a perfect, how should I say, description of, we named the Koken werewolf because it manifested. He has the capabilities to manifest to look like what you're seeing in the picture, a
Yep,
werewolf.
yep.
And there it is.
That's the
It's
actual picture, Watchman.
manifesting to look like a werewolf. It's got the ears, the nose, and everything. But is it real? It's just a manifestation. But some can take temporary manifestations, then some can appear and disappear within like a minute. A good manifestation
I
depends on
was,
how much energy they have. If they have the attention of whoever's seeing it, like the fear factor.
I was the one
So,
that I saw in Mississippi. The couple I saw in Mississippi were figments of my imagination, but unfortunately, not only did the people on the feeder see it, but the people inside the cotton gin saw it. So you ain't telling me nothing that I don't know, Watchman.
yeah, we already know all these things. It's Werewolf. We call it Werewolf Wednesday because we talk about all aspects, right? Not saying that they're flesh and blood creatures, but we talk about the shapeshifter skinwalkers. We talk about different, I guess you could say, spirits that are able to manifest into a werewolf, right? Shapeshifter skinwalkers have that ability
What's up,
through
Lawnmower?
witchcraft and necromancy. It's more of a spirit, but they have abilities, like I said, to keep you out of a certain area.
Like the one
They'll
I saw, it disappeared into the ground.
they can grab rocks, chunk them at you. Um, the energy is was throwing them. The spiritual energy is able to chunk rocks, wood, whatever can get a grasp of through energy. Even it can bang on things. It'll do it in threes. Toss three rocks at you. Bang the rocks three times. Bang the trees three times. Make three growling sounds or three yells, and people thinking that it's a Bigfoot, but it's really is letting you know that it's demonic. It's identifying itself. When it's doing that, it's identifying itself to you what it truly is, and it's not a
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Nobody told you to stop. talking, Watson. That's what the chat is for. But if this is your first time here, then it is Werewolf Wednesday. Tuesdays and Thursdays is open mic night. Friday is the Chusa night. And Monday is discussed on Monday.
Yeah, if you've never been here, what we talk about here, and you just throw something out there, and you don't know that it's more of a spiritual thing here than anything in the flesh of cryptids, because we don't believe here that the cryptids are real, even though that there's many sightings or people being fraudulent. I have video evidence that it's of the balance, spiritual warfare, dealing with the good and evil, the yin and the yang, whatever you want to call it. But today is World Wednesday, in which when we talk about World Wednesdays, we talk about everything dealing with werewolves, shapeshifter skinwalkers, the DDN,
Yep, yep. Yeah.
things that can manifest to take the form of a werewolf.
It's like Wendigos and stuff like that.
Wendigo, yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I don't mind if you ever want to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have an open mic night, but I don't know who you are. I just see a little cup with a happy face.
At least you see that. All I see is
But
Watson.
I hear you, man. You are right about that. It's about good and evil. You're right about that. I'm just trying to say I'm showing you an image here of a picture, and there's a bigger picture than this uh, of where I captured this. And it's well, I couldn't see it visually, I could sense it around me spiritually, and I was doing a live, and I was able to capture it on the live. So I took a screenshot of what was in the picture, and I placed it here, and for Werewolf Wednesdays. And there's other ones that I have that I captured the look, you could say, beastly, right? That's a manifestation of the DDN. Not all DDN look the same; they all look different. Some were big, some were small. They all look different. They all look different. Different looks in their face. But when I say that this is a manifestation, it's because it's exactly what it is. I walked in the woods. I didn't see nothing there, but I was able to capture it on camera because I could sense it. So you drop kindness, but I do not push religion. Well, I believe in Jesus Christ. You gotta have faith and believe in Jesus Christ to be able to understand the spiritual aspect of things.
That's right.
Uh, how many people do you know that believe in Bigfoots, but they have no evidence, no evidence to prove? The only thing that they have is other people in costume, like the Patterson film, or AI now. They're using AI to their advantage.
Or
Here I'm
boots
showing you
around the truck.
something that's in spiritual form, right here. Joking around, we named it Cocaine Werewolf, uh, but it's literally a unclean spirit.
Just,
We talk about shadow figures,
just
but
flip you up, werewolf.
yeah, he was able to manifest to look beastly. Yeah, I got several pictures. I got videos of the things that are around, and most of my captures is during the day. I got some captures that are during the night also, but during the day is where I capture a lot of my captures of this DDN or spirits that are around us. Well, yeah, imagine that, man. It's you seeing them is one thing, but to be able to capture them, to share them, and submit them as spiritual evidence. I have a video of the shadow figures one in my house. You want me to share on that video? And it's all
No,
dealing with the same thing, you know.
that would be cool, man.
Let me share that one to him. Let me see if I can find it first. Yeah, I have the captures of the shadow figures inside my house, out in the open space during the day, you know, and they're still darker than night. But I'll share it in a moment. If you want to share your story, cousin, go ahead so you can understand, you know, what you witnessed.
And this is Witness Live, Watchman. Um, well, he looks for that. I'll share my story. Um, it was 2018, and I was working in Ferris, Mississippi, and I was working on a feeder. We were working in a cotton gin. The feeder was outside. Around 3 in the morning, I happened to look to the right. I was on the catwalk, and I saw a reddish brown. Well, it looked like a dog, but it was taller than it was taller than the processed cotton that was already packed up to be sold. So I jumped off and pushed the button to start the machine. Once that stopped, the whole gin stopped. That's why it's called a feeder. And I went up to the head ginner and I told him there's something out here. And they walked out, and just in time to see it walk into the damn storage for the cotton seed. And then they walked out again, and they got into the two trucks. They started following, and it started phasing in and out of reality. And in one jump, it jumped the highway into the field where we had some of the cotton that needed to be processed. I, on the other hand, only had my knife with me, and I was running down the darkest part of the property, and I happened to look to the right, and I see something in the shadow of a model. And as I stop running and I start walking toward it, I can see the red eyes, and then it stood straight up and placed its hand on top of the fucking module. And the module is like 8 or 10 feet off the ground. And this thing was resting its hand on top of the module, and the chest was higher. But like I said, I wanted to fight it. All I had on me was my knife, my box cutter, and it had red eyes. And when I got like 5 feet from it, it blinked. There was a puff of smoke, and it disappeared. But it was melting into the ground before I got there. Like I said, it blinked and it smelled like rotten eggs. And that's my werewolf story, Watchman. Back to you, cousin.
How many people were chasing it? Because I know it
It,
was only just you.
it was two trucks full, man. Two trucks full. There was like people inside and outside. They had, like I said, it was started phasing, and in one jump, it crossed the highway. But it smelled like wet dog, because there was snow on the ground. This happened around late December, early January. So yep, you
Let me
get
share
ready.
the footage real quick for him. All right. here we go. Something is pissed off. So they like your health is staying physically active. You don't have to lift a lot of weights. You don't have to go for long runs. So long you're doing something.
Wow.
Oh, y'all seen that, brothers and sisters?
Yep.
Something is pissed off. So they like. I know y'all seen that. I just like a dark shadow figure pass right in front of me. All right, let's go to the next one here. Yeah, I got the short version of it.
Wow.
Darker, darker than night.
Yep. Yep. There you go, Watchman.
Darker than night. Check it out. In my house, passed
Yep. Yep.
right through me.
Wow.
So they move so fast that you have to lower, really slow down the speed so you can able to capture them. And that's nothing. The one out there in the woods that I captured, now that one is huge, and is uh, during the day, and it's still darker than night during the day.
Wow. That shit is fucking black, man.
Yeah,
It's not French.
that's what I'm trying to say. They're darker. They're unclean spirits. If somebody would say, "Well, how does an unclean spirit look?" Well, it's very dark, darker than night. You have to rely on your spiritual instincts. Imagine if there was no light and just be
Wow.
targeted. All that'll be around us, man. There you
Wow.
go. I can stop it so you can see how dark it was when it passed right beside me. There you
It was really dark.
go. Darker than night. You can see his form back here, something back here. But it passed right through me, behind me, and in front of me. When we talk about dark shadow figures, well, that's what they are. Darker than night. And I have
Hello, Cynthia.
several other footage like this. If that's what he is interested in, well, this is what I capture. When I tell people that I know what a Bigfoot and a Dogman is, and all these cryptids, they're unclean spirits. That's what they are, but they have the capabilities to manifest temporarily because they don't have a vessel.
Hi, jumpsuit.
I wonder what's the name is saying. I'm saying we can put it bigger so we can see it better. There we go.
Wow. I can still see it.
Yeah, look, it's bigger here.
Wow.
How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Yeah, they're very spiritual real. And this is like evidence that a lot of people don't. The all these Bigfoot believers and all these people that like, oh, Brother Abe see us. He's a he's a nuisance to our communities. Well, because I'm showing the truth of what they are. I'm not going to bullshit nobody. See, they bullshit just to make money for profit. To me, it's not about that. It's about protecting the vessels, protecting the people. That's why I put my evidence to light as to people to get ready spiritual because the spiritual warfare is amongst us. You don't see me worshiping anything because I see a Bigfoot or a dog man, a shadow figure, or a goat man, or whatever manifestation it takes. I'm not going to praise it or worship that. That's because that's what those people are doing. That's what they're worshiping because they know exactly what they are. Demonic in nature. I'm not going to do that. I'll tie bind and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. Yeah,
Man, we used to at his house here in Riverville. We used to hear things running on the roof, things trying to break through the floor.
yeah.
The doors shake in the back room. Something looking through the window. I almost got dragged under a bed. So yeah, Watchman, we done seen it all.
I submitted my evidence here. Yeah, I always tell anybody, all these cryptid lovers, right? I say, hey, come on over, bring your evidence, and I'll show you my evidence of what I've captured out there. But they don't want. They don't want to come here because spiritual cryptid encounters will show the truth. They'll bring the light to what it really is.
We
I'm not
have
gonna.
proof.
I'm not gonna bullshit nobody. I'm not gonna lure somebody the wrong way, man.
2 houses down. Probably living in the house where it happened.
But let me take up this one, and you can share the other story, Primo. The other one that you've seen.
Oh,
Well, I'll look for some more footage here.
and then just as we were about to come home, we lived in the middle of a cemetery. And if you looked out the front window, you could see the gravestones. If you looked far right, you could see a clearing that had a wood in it and a little stream that ran by it. Uh, and in that woods, I saw a female werewolf, and that one followed us, man, from Mississippi to Texarkana, and we were doing about 80 in the Tahoe. And the dudes that were sitting in the back seat were no longer sitting at the doors. They were sitting in the middle because the she wolf was looking through the back window, through the doors, the back windows, and we lost it in a rainstorm in Texarkana. So yeah, I saw two different colors that same year.
Two different colors.
Yep, a brown and a gray. If you seen the shadow figures or experienced it, then there was a reason for it in your life. I don't know what that reason would be for me. Watchman, I happened to see, like I said, in 2018, I saw two. In 2019, I saw what I not think of it as a skinwalker. It looked like a dog, but it didn't look completely like a dog.
Okay, let me share this one. I'm gonna share the one that this is probably gonna freak him out here, but I'm gonna share it right now. Any questions for cousin Jesse?
I don't know, Watchman. I've been seeing things since I was a young lad as well, 4 or 5 years old. So I don't know.
Here you go. Let me turn on the
Through
volume.
here. I just heard something here.
Check it out. Here you go.
Because I've been through here I just heard something here. Sounded like some kind of bark. Because I've been through here. I just heard something here. Sounded like some kind of bark.
There we go. Darker than night and moving at a high rate of speed.
Hello, Juan. ¿Qué pasa, quiz?
Look how fast
Wow.
that is moving. How you doing, Juan?
Wow. That thing is fast, man.
But look at the color, darker than night.
Yep, yep, yep.
During the day. There you go. I got one where it's, I lowered the speed so you can see it better. I'll play that one for you. There you go. Oh, wrong one. There you go.
Wow.
Which one's better, Primo? That one or the other one?
That one's
You,
good, man.
this one?
Yeah.
There you go. Darker than night, man. But I show you the original. How fast it's really moving. This is a close up of it. I did a close up of it because I want to see how it looked, and I think it's more than one. What's more than one, Primo?
A legion.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, I've been watching watching.
Look at that.
Yep, yep, yep.
But then there's the original. Oh, wrong one. I think I lost it. That's fine. I just wanted to share this one. When you think of dog man, well, you can't leave out the DDN because that's what they are. They move so fast, man. They're in spirit form. You know how people say, "Oh, it went into the tree and disappeared." Well, how's that going to be? Because it's a spirit. Hello, McFly. I want to make up all this other stuff talking about they going through a portal and all this stuff, or going to another dimension because beam me up, Scotty. You know, but no, they're spirits. They're going to go through objects. They can go right through you too. Drain your energy.
Oh, I hope that settles everything, Watchman. Like we said, it was Werewolf Wednesday, but you wanted to see shadow figures, so here they are.
Yeah, I was caught on when I used to be a station four hood in the military, man. They're everywhere here in Central Texas, everywhere. Doesn't matter where I've been in Central Texas, I've always run into them. The DDN, they surface up. They know who I am. They surface up through my parallel vision, or sometimes pass real fast when I'm talking to somebody or I'm going for a walk. You know. Yeah, there's some that are orbs. You got the red orbs, and the red orbs are demonic, man. You gotta be careful with those. They will attack you,
Yeah.
drain your energy and stuff.
So will the green orbs.
Let's see what else I can find here.
Well, cause it's been It's been fun, but man, I gotta go.
You gotta go, cousin.
Yeah.
All right, primo. We have a
Bye,
good one,
y'all.
cousin. Yeah, cousin Jesse, call it a night. I don't know who we got here. I know. I thought I seen Beyond the Box here earlier. If you want to jump on, Watchman, since we lost cousin Jesse, you can be my wingman if you want to. Maybe I seen that you talk about these things. You can come and share what you've experienced if you like. They're called different names, throughout history. Dogman is something they just made up just now, but they've been called lycanthropes, werewolves. There's other names. The gypsies call them also, but even the gypsies, they'll tell you that the werewolf, right, what people call werewolves, that they are demons that they're being summoned. They summon them, right? So they're dark shadow spirits that they summon through witchcraft and necromancy. But I'll drop a link here to see if anybody wants to jump on, and if not, I'll continue with what I was sharing. Like I said, I was trying to transfer tomorrow. We're gonna go close the house, you know, so we can get ready to move in and stuff. Uh, of course, for that you got to transfer the bills over. It's a process, right? But tomorrow we close on the house. Uh, so yeah, I was trying to get all this footage that I don't think I've shared before from my old phone, and I thought I was transferring it, and it didn't transfer over to through my messenger. So I'm gonna have to do that again after I do this live. Yeah, here in spiritual encrypted encounters, we see the spiritual aspect of everything. Uh, I've seen things when I was growing up. For example, when we talk about Bigfoots, when we talk about Bigfoots, uh, we were in that rest area up on a mountain. I just can't remember what location we were at. We're coming back from Arkansas, and we're up on this rest area. It was nighttime, and we had parked, and we were taking a nap. There's somebody named Tweak here. I don't know who this is. Let me see. I don't know who Tweak is. So we were up there on the rest area. Next thing you know, you hear like branches, trees breaking, and then you start seeing like little trees being tossed by something. And there was this guy with this trucker, and the rest area is like he had his weapon in his hand, and he's telling us to leave, that it's a Sasquatch, that it's a Bigfoot that is coming. But the noise that I heard, that it was making, the growl, it sounded like a mountain lion, right? That's what it sounded like to me. But uh, the trees were being broken and tossed, and pieces and logs, debris of trees were being tossed, in which, and I was looking where they're coming from, but I couldn't see something visibly that was doing that. So that's when we left. We left that area. Yeah, I don't know who that person was that tried to join. So what is it when the orbs are rainbow colored? I've never seen a rainbow colored orb, but I've seen different I'm not going to say orbs, but different energies, like side by side. Well, I don't know who the person was, but if it's the same person, I don't know who it was. I mean, they're not here no more. They took off. I'll drop a link there. Yeah, the ones that I've seen, I'm talking about Texas. The ones that are dangerous of what I witnessed, or the red orbs. Those are the ones that they'll leave you with scratches, bite marks, and drain your energy. Those are the ones that I faced in Central Texas. Yeah, well, there's some that could be dust particles, like dust. Like if you're recording and you see a dust, like a dust, it could look that way. But the orbs that I'm talking about are not dust particles. They're huge. They're big. I think I have a picture of one, but I have to look into my phone. But I seen them as a form of energy, like energy. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. It's kind of like this that I'm going to share right now. This was in front of my house. This is when I captured the picture of the succubus. But check this out. I don't think I've shared this with y'all. Sometimes you have to debunk the photo, so you have to look into the photo, see what you capture. Check this photo out. Uh, okay. Check this photo out. This right here is the original photo that I captured in front of my mobile home. That I said that I captured the picture of the succubus and something with it, right? In which this is the familiar. The succubus is supposed to be here, right? You can still see her there, but then there's all this other activity right here. But look at the color, red, 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 all red. This is the original picture. So I said, well, let me look into it a little bit better and try to light it up a little bit. So this is me lighting it up a little bit. Which you can't really see the one that was standing here in this, because I lit it up just to see if I could see anything here, that's weird. But this is the original. Lot of activity here. Look at this one here. Red, big. There's the face. This is the original photo. There's red everywhere, in which that's letting you know that what's there is demonic in nature. Original photo. I just wanted to share this photo. You see all the red that's around me? Everywhere there's red. This photo was taken at 3 in the morning, like between 3 and 4 in the morning. Okay, let me take this photo off here right now. Oh yeah, there's different colors of orbs, different colors. I think the different stages in life, right, or things in that nature. Your spiritual aura. Everybody's got their own spiritual aura. I've seen white orbs, yellow orbs, blue orbs, red orbs, green orbs. Uh, then I've seen some that are a mixture of all that, like with the yellow orbs. I think I might have a photo here of the man that thing of the different color orbs that I captured one day. I'm not sure if I got it here, but it is Werewolf Wednesday, in which I can show you how they manifest to look like werewolf. They take the beastly appearance, you know, like this one. Look at this one here. Let me share this one here with y'all. Here we go. We'll pause it there for right now. There's a manifestation of a dark shadow figure during the day. Pretty big. There you go. Pretty big. Yeah, this one's a pretty big right there. Look how big it is. This is your original picture. It's pretty tall, man. That's got to be a good 9 to 10 feet tall. Possible, I don't know, pretty tall. I think if I pass through here, I'll probably be around this height. Whatever that is, it's pretty tall. Just showing you the original height of it. Pretty tall. So I'll play it for y'all one more time, and I'll find something else in a moment. This dark shadow figure spirits like this, I've seen them all my life since I was a kid. Everywhere I've been, I've seen them. It doesn't matter what country, because I've been to different countries. Got somebody, the Watchman here. How you doing, Watchman? Hello. Are you there? Is he having technical difficulties? I'm not hearing nothing. Maybe he can fix his mic, and I'll see if I can get him back on here. Let me try to find something else for y'all. Maybe share some stories. Yeah, okay, I think you fixed this problem. Let's see. How you doing, Watchman? Can you talk? Can I hear, if you're saying something, I cannot hear you. There you go. It's not working. He's having technical difficulties. So let's go on with the show. Let me find something else for y'all to share. Okay, this one here, since it's Werewolf Wednesday, this is what I'm about to share with you is I believe it's a shapeshifter skinwalker because of the color of the eyes are yellow. And I believe this is a Central Texas shapeshifter skinwalker that I'm about to show y'all. Okay, here we go. Let me get to that right there. There you go. Let me push play. I don't think it's playing. Oh yeah, it is playing. It's right here. It's got the yellow eyes. There it is. Well, I'm just gonna play the footage. So this is the path, and the shapeshifter skinwalker is right in this area here. Let me refresh the link. It could be the link also. Let me refresh this link, and we'll drop a fresh link. When it comes down to shapeshifter skinwalkers, or anything out of magic or witchcraft and necromancy, to me, what I would notice is the yellow eyes. Even the Jinn is got a yellow glare, yellow look in their eyes. Uh, Brujas, and the other things like hellhounds and soul collectors, they have the red glow eyes. You know, the hellhounds, soul collectors, or something that's demonic in nature, evil. They have the red glowing eyes. It's got a face and everything. Let me when it gets to it. I think I had a picture when I did a close up of it to the. Ah, there we go. There we go. I'll pause it right there. The yellow eyes, the shifter skinwalkers that have the yellow eyes, and of course right here. The thing is, I don't know if this is the because I have another picture to show my evidence of how the shapeshifter skinwalker looks. Normally they wear the skin hide on their head, but then the face will be somewhere in this area, somewhere low. So you're seeing the hide of the manifestation that is taken, right? So you're seeing the face of the creature that is taken. Normally, the face sometimes is either in the front or to the rear because they can put it in a way that the enemy thinks that uh, they might be looking a different direction. But yeah, this is a face right here, and this is the yellow eyes. I do have other footage that's different than this, but it shows the same thing of shapeshifter skinwalkers. Yeah, here we go. In which I have one where you can see the face of the skinwalker, and you can see the head of the animal that he's using. Let me get to that footage. Well, here's a one of energy also that I captured here that I want to show y'all since we were talking about orbs and stuff like that. Here's one of energy, and this happened at nighttime. There you go. This is a close up. I did a close up of it to see if I could see what was uh, using the energy. If I could see a form of something or manifestation of something, which right here, even though there's so much energy here, I see a face right up here. Looks like a face of something right up in here. But it's nighttime, and that's the energy. I heard somebody growl or something growl, and I just took a picture in the and nighttime. There you go. I think Watchman's Wi-Fi might be messed up because he's just spinning right now. It's not doing nothing. It shows that he's on here, but he's not on here. No, his stuff is not working, man. I don't know what's the matter with it. All right, there we go. So what else we can find here for y'all? This one is from Elms Grove. It's just from Elms Grove, and it's behind me. There's like two of them. If you really look close or take a screenshot and look, there's like three of them there standing behind me on the path in Elms Grove. Three of them, pretty tall. I think it's just him, man, because cousin Jesse's was working just fine. Let's try it one more time. There we go. Are you there? Hello, hello. Anyways, stop sharing that one. Which one is this one? Huh. I don't think I've ever seen this one. There's a weird one here. Let me share this one with you. Here you go. I seen something here, but there's something down here. There it was. Like he closed his eyes. Down here. But another one here, like with the mouth open or something. But there's one down here. And something here in this area. One here and something here. Maybe next time, Watchman. So right, you can see the one on the bottom here. So I'm just going through some of the videos. Here it is right here. There was something here moving, but I see this one down here. Low to the ground. Let's see what else we find here. Oh yeah, this is a crazy one right here. This is the one with the rider. Check this one out. See it moving there. You're gonna see the face with the teeth and everything. And I'm gonna pause it so y'all can see the face. Oof. There you go. There's like 2 or 3 of them here. There's one right here. Then as it keeps on moving, the other one's still here. It's turning its head. And then the other one, there's right here. It's gonna come in. You're gonna see the face and the teeth and everything. There it is. I think there's like 2 or 3 here. And these are the fingers that my brother was saying. There's a rider to the steed. He's not a duende rider, but there it is. There's the face. This was from an investigation that we did. There it is. The face. The hand of the rider that's riding it. There it is. There's the face. So I'm push play for y'all. There you go. More evidence of the spiritual aspect of things. That they're moving. They're moving. They're moving there. Their emotion. Turning their head. That one's turning the head over there. And the rider's there. I think I have a picture of the rider. I just need to find it. So you can see the face, how it looks. Stop sharing this. I know it might be a little bit too much for some of y'all, but those are the things that I deal with when I go do my investigations. I capture a lot of things that are out there, you know. Okay, here we go. Let me find something else for y'all. Yeah, I was trying to find the one with the. See, I can find. You just got to look into the photos here. I mean, into the short reels. Thank God that I got the short reels. Let me see what we got here. Here's one that you could literally tell the face, but pretty tall and it's looking. Here we go. Check out this photo or this short reel here. How you doing, Sister Ivy Ramirez? Here we go. Let me share this. It's standing right there. It's standing right here. Pretty tall. You can see its face and everything. Or the manifestation of the face, right? That looks kind of like a canine, wolf-like. And if it's standing, that's pretty tall, right? I'll let it run for a little bit. See who we got in the chat here. Yeah, let me find something else for y'all. Let me find the one with the skinwalker wearing the hide on his head. Here it is. Share this one here. There it is. The one with the yellow eyes around the same area too. You can see the face of the skinwalker underneath the head of the animal that it's wearing. Let me do a closer look at it. You can see the face underneath the head of the animal that it's wearing. You can see the face of the skinwalker underneath it. There it is. Go back a little bit. Imagine like this is a nose of the and this is the eyes of the hide, but the face is down here because he's wearing it on his head. Or to me, they're more spirits than anything. Because when they die is when they have the abilities of to be in spirit, to be able to manifest to the creatures of nature itself. So there it is. Shapeshifter Skinwalker. That sucker was right beside me. The shapeshifter skinwalkers, I've seen them. I had an encounter several times already. But the one in Elms Grove, that one, oh man, if you only knew how fast it can change form, but you know, it's out of witchcraft necromancy, out of magic. So if they can change rapidly like that, only imagine the capabilities of the DDN or unclean spirits, demonic spirits that can mimic voices, take different forms, because they have those abilities. They can deceive people. That's what I tell uh, the members of spiritual encrypted encounters. Don't go believing in other things. They'll give it the power of belief. There's people that belong to certain groups that'll tell you. They try to tell you that what's out there is magical. Well, they're not going to say magical. They say, "Oh, it was a blessing." No, it's out there in the dark, in the woods. It's not magical. It's not a blessing. It's what they're believing in, right? Then we had somebody here that say that there was a guy that was saying that he worships the moon. Well, we know what worships the moon, you know, witches and warlocks that worship the moon at nighttime because they're worshiping Lucifer. So when I hear people putting the Bigfoot in the high pedestal or whatever they're witnessing out there in the woods in a high pedestal, I already know what they're about. And it's not about a Bigfoot that they're looking for, searching for. It's about what they're believing in and what they're worshiping. And that's the truth. No, because they'll say to you that evidence doesn't matter. Then nobody needs to provide no evidence. It doesn't matter. Yeah, because the evidence does speak the truth. I have the truth here of what's out there, and it's not a cryptid or a Bigfoot or what people claim that they're seeing out there. It's unclean spirits, the DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim. So of course, and they say they have all this kind of evidence. Well, then show your evidence. If you claim that you say that you have evidence of some sort, then show it. They're not going to show it. You know why? Because that's what they believe in. So they're not going to show the evidence of what they're believing in. Just like they can't show no evidence of a Bigfoot. Oh, that's just a cover up of what they're really worshiping out there, brothers and sisters. If you can't get that by now of what's really going on, it's not just happening in groups and podcasts. It's happening all around the world. You know, people have put certain things in place to deceive people, to trick people. That's why it's important to have the relationship with Jesus Christ, because He'll show you the way. He'll show you the truth. No, I think I've made a open challenge here for any cryptid person or any cryptozoologist or whatever to come up here and show me their evidence. I know people tune into this channel, but they don't, because they know what it's really about. And for those that pay attention, listen to what the people say, and they themselves give themselves away indirectly, no different than when the unseen forces give themselves away. They'll say something to identify what they are, who they are. Just like somebody that will be practicing the dark arts or with their worship, they're going to see something to give themselves away, because through spiritual law, the Holy Spirit is going to identify your enemies to you. You just have to pay attention. Holy Spirit jump to the person going to say something, and boom, there it is. That's who that person is. That's what the person is about. They give themselves away all the time. Me, I pay attention, and I already know who's who because they give themselves away. But that has been a skill asset that I've had all my life. Because the Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, blesses me with his spiritual gifts. It's called spiritual gifts of discernment. See what else I can find for y'all here. Here's another one. This is from Elms Grove also. This is a shapeshifter skinwalker, but it's not, it's still in like native form. Okay, here we go. Here's the face right here. The eyes, the nose, the eyebrows, and up here on the head is the animal head that it's got on top of the head. So there's the face of the shapeshifter skinwalker, and here's the hide of the animal on top of his head. So let's play a little bit more. Good picture of it right here. And that one's from Elms Grove Estates. Give it another 30 minutes, and I'm going to call it because I have to give me some rest for the closing tomorrow of the home. Let me see what else I can find here for y'all. It is Werewolf Wednesday, so here's one from Nolanville, Texas. It's from Nolanville, Texas. Let's play from the beginning. There it is. Nolanville, Texas. a dogman, or what people call a dogman, I call it DDN, because as tall as it is, it's darker than night. As you can see, I'm showing you things that are darker than night. Here's an example of that spirit, the DDN, or in a werewolf like a thorpe form. There it is, darker than night, standing in the edge of the wood line. Yes, it jumps to zero. I've seen the blurry pictures that people take, real blurry pictures where they're pixelated and everything. There used to be a group that they will pixelate the picture so much that they will draw their own pictures on it, like with a draw like a face of something, like something's there, but there's nothing's there. And people are like, "Oh, I see it, I see it." It's like something that they literally drew. It's like having a kid draw something with a crayon. I've seen those people, and then I've seen the other people that they call them blotch squatch. What is it? It's just a blotch. Is real blurry. I think that's what they're called. People call them blotch squatches. Oh, there's different animals, of course, different animals, different snakes, but at the same time, there's different manifestations of the spirits that they can take. Trust me, man. I've seen the dark shadow figures, or like this, or the ones that I showed earlier. I've seen them on Fort Hood when I used to train on Fort Hood during the day and at nighttime. At night times they even stand out even more. It just looks like a dark shadow figure. Uh, I will laze it with a tank, laze it because the only thing I could see was a dark void, like something moving, and I was like, "There's something out there," but it had no heat signature. So if it doesn't have a heat signature, then that means that it's something that's not living. If it's got no heat signature, normally anything that's living, it'll have a heat signature. You're able to see the heat off its body. Well, these things here, they have no heat signature, in which that's letting you know they are not flesh and blood, that they're spirits. Yeah. I'm just saying, man. Nothing to take away from the people that they create their own pixelation and zoom in. Like you see this full picture. I'm showing you a full picture. They won't show you a full picture. They'll go zoom in and pixelate a little branch off the one of the little branches and say there's something there. I'm showing you the full picture and a close up of it. There's something there. Yeah, one day I'll bring my one of my tanker brothers on here, man. Uh, Hopefully, brother Corey Stevenson, uh, my tanker brother, man. I'll try to get him on here because he went up higher in the ranks, and I'm more sure he's got all kinds of stories, but they can only say so much, because the government is always paying attention. But I've seen this things out there when I was a young PFC specialist and an NCO. I would see him out there on the ranges. We were doing night fire. But that if you see something moving down range during a night fire, or you gotta let the tower know there's something down range. Like, because there's cows out there, but cows have a heat signature, and I would tell them, hey, I'll give them the TRP, or where it's at. I say I see 6 dark shadow figures moving downrange by uh, one of the targets. I see 6 things. I see looks like 6. I count 6 moving downrange. Then the tower, they're higher, so they got their own night vision out there. And I said, whatever it is, it's not producing a heat signature. Then they look at it and they're like, well, I do see something down there also that's moving, but it has no heat signature. So then they tell us, okay, well, let's call a ceasefire. You have to take off your ammo, turn the turret to the rear, and go green to green. Basically get all the ammo out of the shame from the gun tube, and make sure everything's clear. And then the range control goes down range to the area where they seen the 6 or whatever. And then they're down there investigating, and they don't find nothing. So then they come back and they say, well, we went down there. By the time we got down there, there was nothing down there. We're going to continue on with the night fire. They told us to go recon 1, and that's what we did. We go recon 1, upload the ammo and get ready to go downrange to during night fire. But if I'm seeing it through night vision, but it's not through the night vision that I was seeing it as it has no heat signature. So that means it's something that's not alive. And they're seeing it also the same way I'm seeing it, that it's something down there that's moving, but it has no heat signature. That's why I know what the dogman is and the Bigfoot is. There are what I call the DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim. As many times as I've seen them down range, even when we're boar sighting and the areas that we're camped before we go down, do missions and stuff, I was always running into them. They'll pass right by the tank, taller than the tank, but they're moving so fast because they're darker than night like that they just pass right by the tank, because they're spirits. So I've been out there, man. You see people that they people that this people that they say that they go camping, right? To go to their Bigfoot adventure and the stuff, right? That they're out there camping. We and the boys, we go camping, blah blah blah. I used to live in the woods. When we train on Fort Hood, I'll be out there 45 days, day and night in the woods. There was no shower runs or nothing. I'll be out there. No difference than going to war. I was out there for the time frame I was there. I'm out there day and night. So I know what's out there, I don't have to go and be out there for 1-2 weeks. I did 10 years of my life in the military as a tanker, and we train 24/7 in all terrains, the woods, the desert, in the mud, in the ice. I know what's out there because I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I have the ability to see spiritually. That's why I'm just giving a warning to the people. Don't be believing in these things, because they're not what you think it is, and don't be gifting them because that's a big spiritual opening right there. When you're gifting something, it's kind of like you're worshiping it, right? Like you're worshiping it in a sensible way. Just pay attention. If you have a family, you have loved ones, pay attention. Not just if it's not for you, pay attention to what you do for the sake of your loved ones, man. You don't want to bring the danger to your house because it will infiltrate your home. I'm just hearing jumpsuit zero that I'm not gonna bullshit people here. How the cryptid community does. They bullshit the people. They freaking lie, man. You got people in costume pretending to be Bigfoots. I mean, shit. You even got it in social media where people are pretending to be cheap, dressed in costumes of cheap, jumping, pretending to be horses. That's no different, you know. If you really think about it, what are they truly worshiping? That's like a form of possession, man. People, maybe you could say they're pretending, right? Pretenders. But what about the ones that are not pretenders? They're not pretending, that are really being demonized, and they're acting that way. I'm just call it speaking the truth. You hear all these people, there's all these people making excuses from the cryptic community, talking about that they had an encounter with this and that, but then they say that they're going to protect what they had an encounter with, right? But at the same time, they make mistakes of when they speak, and they say there's legions of many of them. Legions. What is legions? The 1/3 that fell from the heavens, right? So what is that saying? What they're really worshiping out there is demonic. And if people cannot, how should I say, how can I make it easy? If you can see that the enemy is letting you know what it is, what they're about, and you're gullible, then I can do nothing for you. You really have to have your relationship with Jesus Christ to for your spiritual gifts of discernment, so you can see when a person is lying to you in your face. They try to make it sound like a pretty picture, but the Holy Spirit will reveal the enemy to you, because they'll say certain things to give up their identity. I'm just surprised that nobody caught that the other day. You know, I caught it right off the bat. Yeah, it's all. I'm saying it straight up right now. Uh, that film is bullshit. It's bullshit. The 1/3 that fell from the heavens. That's what I'm talking about. Jumpsuit zero. When you talk about the Legion, that's what you're talking about. Where has anybody seen an army of Bigfoots? Nowhere. They can't even find one Bigfoot. Or they said there's adolescents. Where are they? I know there's a lot of animals in the zoos that are captive, right? Gorillas, monkeys. They can even capture a little adolescent. Come on. I already know what the deal is with the Bigfoot community, what they're really worshiping. It is not Bigfoot. It's demons. That's what they're worshiping. That's why they never talk about Jesus Christ. You become a member of the groups, and they'll say you can't say nothing bad about what people are posting, even if it's fake, right? You can't say nothing bad about the Bigfoot. Why? Why can't you say something that the Bigfoot that they're posting up is AI, or that the Bigfoot that they're posting there is somebody in a costume? Why is that? What? Why? Why is that? That people they don't want people. Why do they want to give power to a lie, right? Why can't you just say, well, that's a person in costume? No, they want you to believe that it's real. Why? To give the demon power. That's why. They want you to gift them. Gift them. That's gifting the demon something. That's what it is. You don't believe me? If you ever see a Bigfoot or have an encounter with any cryptid, tie binary rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ and see what happens. I'll tell you what is going to happen. The legion or whatever kind of demon it is that's manifesting to look like it is going to flee. It's going to disappear. It's going to be gone. That's when you're going to know. But you got to say it in true faith and believe in Jesus Christ when you type in rebuke in Jesus Christ. Because if we're just saying it with no faith and belief or having a relationship with Jesus Christ, then the demon's going to attack you. Because he already knows what's in your heart, if you have faith or not. It's one of those things that there's a lot of technicalities in there, right? When I say something to these things, they know what's within my heart, that I walk this earth with a heavenly love foundation. So I'm able to make it disappear, make it go away, because it flees when I type on the rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ. Just pay attention, folks. Not unless y'all believing in the same thing the other people are believing and worshiping the demons, then there's nothing I can tell you. That's what you choose to do. But I'm just saying that's what it's about. And I'm here to reveal the truth here on my little channel of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Yeah, they don't like me talking about the DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim. The cryptic community doesn't like me talking about them because that's exactly what they are. But to them it's about money. It's a money maker, right? Bigfoot is a money maker. The Mothman is a money maker because people go check out the area. So there's vendors making money. There's people writing books. So maybe to them it's a way of living, right? A way of living by deceiving the people, making money, making up stories, right? Just to make that money, selling books that are bullshit. They must say they have 50, 60 years experience, but it's 50, 60 years of experience to live in the lie. Because they're not speaking the truth. They're like, well, we've invested this many years. Everybody knows us already as this and that, But to me, I think people need to ask God for forgiveness and repent for their sins, because you're not supposed to forsake your brothers and sisters in Christ, and that's what they're doing. They're forsaking. They're forsaking y'all. They're forsaking. I said, my brothers and sisters in Christ. They're forsaking them by lying to them, deceiving them. That's right, Sister Cynthia. I said that two different locate in Elms Grove when I ran into the the dog man that was, or the werewolf, lycanthrope, shapeshifter, whatever you want to call him, DDN. It was taller than the swing set that was there in the park. It was like half his body was over the top of the swing set, and he was looking at me. And I was looking at it, and when I seen it, was put the spirit to the test. I looked at it and I said, I tie, bind, and rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ, in true faith and believe. And then it just disappeared, vanished. There was no puff of smoke. It disappeared. So I started praying to our Father, and I started walking to where it disappeared. And what I found there was where it was standing was pestilence or black goo that was left behind where it stood. I used to carry a little bag with holy water, with um, pure uh, pure ingredients like salt and garlic, and I hit it with a little balloon right where it stood. I hit it there so it wouldn't be able to use that area to uh, I should say appear or disappear. Sometimes when they would go through the trees, I'll place heavenly crosses around the trees, or I hit it with a balloon. There was already blessed water with natural ingredients, of course, so they wouldn't be able to use the tree to go into the trees. You know, spiritual warfare. I dealt with it there in Elms Grove, so I'll be out there at nighttime by myself, fighting this dark shadow spirit, unclean spirits. The one that I ran into, the Bigfoot. What people call a Bigfoot, well, this sucker here had to be like 25 to 30 feet tall, huge. Something that happened where I was all camoed out because I was looking for the person in black that lured my son into the woods, and I could never find the person in black that lured my son into the woods. And then one day I'm by this woods and I heard something making a weird noise right beside me. Right when I look to my left, I see this little creature, probably like 4 or 5 feet tall. It's got his mouth open, and it's got a lot of teeth, and it's growling at me a certain way, but this growl is different. And I'm looking at it. It's small, and it's showing me all its teeth, like it wants to take a bite out of me or something, right? And it's standing on twos. So I pull out my machete. I pull out my machete, and I'm fixing to hit it on top of the head with a machete. As I'm gonna hit it on top of the head with a machete, the Heavenly Father tells me, don't do it. So I'll put it back in my backpack, and the little thing is crying, is crying, making this weird noise. So I leave it alone and I walk away from it. So I walk to the main highway. As I'm cutting through the trees, there's a big space, a big gap. As I'm going, I could see the street. As I'm going towards the highway, there's something going into the woods, and it's huge, black, and I could hear the little thing crying in the background. So I brace for impact because it's heading straight for me. As it's heading straight for me, and I brace for impact because it's huge and it's blocking the whole path. And as it passes through me, and I don't fall back from the impact. It passes right through me, which that's already letting me know there's a spirit, demonic spirit, DDN, as big as it was. And there was like a nasty pestilent smell. So as I walk onto the street, I immediately feel effects from it. Don't feel like myself. It feels like I'm something's. There are many trying to attack me spiritually, like demonize me. So I'll go straight to prayer. I'm praying and I'm praying, and I go towards my house, but I don't go home. I go to the park and I'm praying and praying because I'm trying to get rid of the unclean spirits that are trying to take over my vessel. So I fight against them and I get rid of them through Jesus Christ. I'm just letting you know that I know what's out there, and it's not what people think. I'm just saying, man, if you have proof that you had a contact with a physical being, well, show us your proof, man. Just like I tell anybody else from the kid community, show me your proof. I don't want to see a footprint. Anybody can make a footprint. Show me some proof that you have of these beings. Not no AI shit. Not no people in costume pretending, fraudulent people or people like Todd Standing, that his wife is a makeup artist and dresses him up to look like. Show me some evidence. Show him some proof. Prove me wrong of what I'm saying. Prove me wrong. I don't want to see no AI crap. A person in costume. People pretending to be pretending that there's a Sasquatch yelling, or a Sasquatch saying no mommy, no mommy, no. That's all bullshit. There's other things that are more dangerous, that are real dangerous out there in the woods. You got cougars, mountain lions, you got wildcats, you got pack of coyotes, there's snakes, there's a lot of other things. And I've heard it all, man. People don't know what the animals can do out there. If somebody were to die out in the woods or get lost and they die of dehydration, how the wildlife that's out there, they got wild boars, they'll come and tear up their body, man. They'll eat. They see food, they're going to eat it. I'm just saying, man. Could always go back to location where you had your encounter. I mean, if you really want to say that you have some kind of proof, go to the areas. I've gone to the areas where numerous times where I've captured my activity, and every time I go, it just proves more and more that there are unclean spirits. I got one at nighttime here. I'm gonna show you the one that I captured at night. I heard footsteps and everything running. I didn't see nothing visually, but I caught something with a flashlight that had white eyes, and it's moving very rapidly. You know, I got one where it's moving in spirit right beside me. You see it moving. I'm just saying, man. There's a lot of people that claim a lot of things. Well, show me some proof. I can show the proof of the investigations of what I capture, right? And that's what I've been doing here all night. You know, showing my evidence. Let me show you the evidence of. I mean, I capture witches out there in the woods. Whatever you want to call them, brujas. Like, look at this one. Let me show you the one that I'm talking about where it's running. Here we go. Check out this one right here that I'm about to show you. Here we go. There you go. It's moving right there. Boom. And this is in slow motion. The regular video of this is only 2 seconds. It moves so rapidly. So let me pause it for y'all where it's moving. Okay, here we go. There it is right here initially. Eye shine up here. Pretty tall. Is there it is. It's looking. Here it is. It's moving. It's moving. It's moving. It's looking. And it's going to look one more time. Right there. And there it is. But it was real tall and it came down real low. And there it is looking straight at me. This is in the woods at nighttime. There it was. Well, I'm not trying to be rude either, brother. I'm just trying to be honest about these things, man. I'm just being honest with you, man, about what people are believing out there. Not to be mean or anything like that, but I don't buy into the bullshit. Maybe you might buy into the bullshit, and not to be mean or anything like that. But go ahead if you want to buy into the bullshit. I see the spiritual truth out of things, man, and I see the people that are infiltrating in those communities that they're full of crap. I'm just being honest to myself, man. You know, I'm being honest. I'm being honest myself. Yeah, that's a black shadow entity, and I have see there's a difference between me and all these other people that write books. I show them the proof here. I can make a book just by my video evidence, man. Make a by all my short reels that I have, and I have a picture where it's not even light hitting, and it still got white eye shine, and that's a slow motion. I have the real speed that is moving real fast. I had to put a slow motion just to be able to capture it. No, it's not. It's not a glare. It's not a light tower. It's moving, man. It's on the move. Look, it goes behind the trees. It goes from one side to the other. I don't know, man. I don't know who you are, Jumpsuit Zero. I know you've come on here, but me personally, I mean, I heard movement, but the only one that I've seen them manifest. But when I type Brandon Rubik in Jesus Christ's name, they disappear. So that by itself is already letting me know what they really are, and it's not something that's in the flesh. It's something that's in the spirit. Here's the other one that proof that it's spirit right here. Look at that sucker. It's moving in spirit form. There you go. People can write whatever the hell they want to write. I'm just saying, why are you going to bullshit people with a lie? That's all I'm saying. If the stories of what they claim what they are is bullshit, and they write a story on bullshit, then the book is bullshit too. That's all I'm saying. If the author is a liar and it's bullshit, then the book is going to be bullshit too. That's all I'm saying. If they don't want to say the truth, what a Bigfoot truly is, or that's what they call it, Bigfoot, but it's called other names from the past, right? They're the unclean spirits, the DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim. That's what they are. A lot of hoaxers, a lot of hoaxers out there. Now this is more real than the film of the Patterson film, man. The evidence that I got here right now that I'm showing y'all is real stuff. Now here's the bruja. Well, we did our investigation. There's the bruja right there, the witch. There's her face. These are the kind of things that people don't want you to find out what's really out there. Those are the things that are out there: witchcraft, necromancy, people summoning things. Is what things appear, disappear. They have those abilities. Uh, and you hear that in all communities, the Bigfoot community, dogman community, where the dogman appears and disappears, the Bigfoot appears and disappears, the reptilian appears and disappears. Why? Because they're of the same. They're the same thing. They're demonic in nature. Tied by the rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, and they're going to disappear too. I'm just saying, man, that's what it is. I used to see movies from back in the day, and I could tell it's a costume, man. It's literally a costume. I used to watch all the sci-fi movies back in the day. You could literally tell it's a costume made out of mesh, the mesh from back in the days. It's not a Bigfoot. It's more of a person in costume. I'm just saying, man. Spirits are all around the world, man. Put it to the test. I know I put it to the test, and I know what happened to the manifestation. I'll say it like that: the manifestation of the demon was taken of the dog man. It disappeared, just like a tied by rebuke witches before that manifested, or unclean spirits, shadow figures that they manifest, and uptight by rebuke and Jesus Christ them, they vanish too. No different. No, that when they say that the Bigfoot is a interdimensional, just an excuse, but by saying what they truly are. I mean, they got it somewhat right. If you take the inter away and take the shin away and put a E on I and a O on E, it's because it's demonic. It's a demon. Then they'll that's the truth. That they're demons. I'm not trying to get you upset or anything, jumpsuit. I'm not trying to get you upset. I'm just trying to say the truth, to speak the truth about this. I know you probably do believe in Bigfoots. That's fine if you want to believe in Bigfoots and leave a spiritual opening for yourself. Go ahead, man. More power to you. I'm not going to give a spiritual opening of anything like that. And the bigger thing is when you tie bind and rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ, that they disappear. Two things can happen. One, um, let me take this bruja out of the way here. Two things can happen. One, puff of white smoke, and it's going to smell like sulfur, in which that's already letting you know that it's demonic in nature. The other, it's going to disappear, and it's going to smell like pestilence, or going to leave black goo behind. That's when you know that it's demonic in nature, especially when you put it to the test and tie bind and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. And the reason I talk about this is because when I started bringing the spiritual aspect of things, the truth, I got targeted, man. I got attacked by the Bigfoot communities and the cryptids and all that because I started bringing the spiritual aspect of it. I think people even make fun of me when I used to talk about always maintain a heavenly love foundation. And the reason I always say always maintain a heavenly love foundation is because that's the only way you can overcome the unseen enemy, unclean spirits, demons, the legion, whatever, whatever falls in that category, right? Throw the cryptids in that category, aliens in that category, reptilians in that category. A heavenly love foundation will overcome them because they're of the same, just different manifestations. Well, what do you think? Some of the Bigfoot communities kicked me out. I wasn't trying to cause problems in their chats. I wasn't saying nothing. I wasn't putting no material up or nothing. I joined some groups because they were affiliated with Brother Josh Turner. He said they were cool people. I've seen some of them at the conference. Which I thought they were cool people till everything happened. How Brother Josh Turner started getting attacked. Me and Sister Bettina Moss were being attacked, and it changed. It didn't change anything for me because I've always been me. I've always believed that these things are spirit. I think in the conference, I even spoke about be careful of what you're believing in. I talked about it up there the little bit of time I spoke, right? Yeah, I got targeted big time. My Facebook account had gotten permanently deleted from Facebook. The thing is, I never gave up because that's not what we're supposed to do. No, I'm just doing my spiritual works, what the Heavenly Father wants me to do. Either, in my life, I've been fighting spiritually since I was a kid, 3 years old. I'm 57 now. So 54 years out of my 57 years of being alive, I've been fighting spiritually against these forces. So I do have the wisdom and knowledge. That's why I speak about it. I'm not going to lie to somebody about anything. I'm speaking the truth about these things because I've witnessed them all throughout my life. And I've overcome them, some with the deliverance prayer with the Our Father, of course, with the Heavenly Love Foundation. And some I have to take authority over them through the name of Jesus Christ. Yeah. I really don't. I've seen you here, Jump Zero, and appreciate you on here. I have nothing against what you believe in, or what anybody believes in. I'm just saying that here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, I'm going to speak the truth. In other locations, I can't say the things that I say here. So I'm going to speak my truth here in my group. That's why I'm not in other groups anymore, because I'm not going to go on with the charade or the lies. That's why some of these groups kicked me out of there, because I wasn't putting no material on their groups, but they listen to my channel. They say, let's kick him out. Let's kick him out of here. Uh, he's not believing what we're believing. You never hear him. You never hear these individuals talk about Jesus Christ, or talk about put that spirit to the test, right? You're seeing the vessel, put it to the test, put it to the spiritual test. Is it going to hurt you if you put it to the spiritual test? Who's it going to hurt if you put it to the spiritual test? It's not going to hurt nobody. If something is going to get you out of a situation, but put the spirit to the spiritual test and see what happens. But you have to do it in true faith and believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah, brother. I'm just speaking that here on my group I can talk about of what I see. You know, I'm trying to bring light to people so people can spiritually. I see not just the things, but see people for what they are, man. The spirit knows the spirit, so I'm able to see who the good people are. Now I'm able to see who the fraudulent people are, or the people that are, how should I say, planting a negative seed. There's many like that, and I run into them all the time here. You got people that come from cults because they're believing in other things. They try to come attack spiritual encrypted encounters. Uh, you got pawns, right? Pawns that were working for the Bigfoot community. They try to come and attack spiritual encrypted encounters. Uh, I've had crazy lunatic Muslim from the Muslim religion come and infiltrate here in spiritual encrypted encounters because I talk about Jesus Christ. They send me messages through Messenger saying they're going to cut my head off. You know, I'll deal with them all, man. And the things that are people, I'm not worried about, because I'm fighting a bigger spiritual war, the unseen spiritual war. You know, you have to be in my path, or to understand where I'm coming from. But if you live in the life of just man, what man says, and what man says, whether you think it's real or not, you know, you really have to have that relationship with Jesus Christ to understand where I'm coming from. Well, jump to zero. I've seen the lies of people, man. I've seen it, man. I mean, shit. Let me give you a good name of one person that I know for a fact is a hoax person. Freaking what's that guy's name? Shit, Todd Standing. There we go. Todd Standing. Todd Standing. Right there. Todd Standing. He's a Bigfoot guy, right? Supposedly he's protecting the Bigfoot and all this. He's protecting the Bigfoot that he has to dress up like a Bigfoot and pretend he's a Bigfoot. He's got a wife that puts makeup on his face. That's an example of what I'm talking about. I'm not the one that's the threat. It's those people that are lying and deceiving the people who are the threat. I'm just bringing the spiritual aspect of it into the community so people can see the truth of what's really out there. I'm just putting it out there, man. Speaking in truth. No difference in the Patterson film. Person in costume, man. You could tell it's a person in costume. see something here. And there's another thing. There's people that only get certain things out of the Bible. They want to get stuck in the old revelations, but they don't want to know Jesus Christ right now in the present. They don't want to have a relationship in the present. They'd rather be stuck in the past. That's why it says to have a relationship with him, because he can guide you, he can show you things, right? Of spirit. For anything that's in the flesh, there's a spirit that's in the flesh. And if it doesn't have the flesh, it's still a spirit, and the spirit knows the spirit. So how are you going to fight something in the spirit? Through Jesus Christ. Like I said before, brother jumps at zero. If you have proof, well, show us the proof that you got. You know, show us the proof. I've gone back to Elms Grove to gather evidence, spiritual evidence of what's out there. I've gone back to Elms Grove. You know, if you hadn't experienced something, go back to the location. I'm more than sure you'll be able to capture something. Record your investigation. Maybe within the recording, something's going to pop up within the recording. That's all I'm saying, man. Because I've had people from the crypto community tell me that they have evidence and all this stuff. I had a guy message me like every freaking day. He's from freaking Oklahoma, messaging me every freaking day, talking about that the Bigfoot is living in his backyard and all this kind of stuff, right? And I said, okay, take a picture or video when they're out there and send it to me, because he's claiming that they're living in his backyard in the woods and all this stuff. Then he says, I can't do that. I have to protect them. You know? And for over like about 2 weeks, every day, he sent me all his messages, but no proof of nothing. You figure if you're trying to convince me that they're flesh and blood creatures, that they're real, that you will at least show me. I have no interest in hunting any cryptids, right? Show me that you have the evidence, but he couldn't show me nothing. Just like another guy that he claims to be a werewolf. I've been knowing him since he was a teenager. I've been trying to help him out spiritually, trying to help out. I've even prayed for the guy. He tried to do harm to himself. I try to help him. Until this day, he says that he's a werewolf. Literally a werewolf, that it runs in his bloodline because he's from Oklahoma. He's some kind of native from Oklahoma, right? I said, okay, next time there's a full moon, or you're going to manifest into the werewolf, take a video of it and show it to me, of your transformation and your manifestation. Couldn't do it. He pretends like he's a werewolf, because I have pictures, but I don't want to put them out there. I have a picture of him pretending like he's a werewolf, but I'm just trying to help him out spiritually, right? Give him advice. Uh, I try my best to help out people, man, when they're going through. His mother wanted me to help him. She she told me help my son because even she knew that he was being demonized. Until this day, he claims to be a werewolf. Just like we know, there's people that claim to be vampires, people claim to be reptilians, people who claim to be a lot of things. But what's not to say that what they claim to be is just a figment of their imagination? That what they claim to be is because they might be infiltrated spiritually. Demons do that. Demons make you think that. Demons make you think you stand alone, nobody loves you, nobody's there for you. People are angry with you because they want division. They don't want nobody to be united. They don't want you to have no love. If they can do all these things and take them away from you, then they have full control of you. No difference what the people from the Bigfoot community are trying to do. Deceive people, you know, same thing. Not just Bigfoot community. The many communities doing that. You know, hidden agendas. We see it in the politics, right? We see it in the politics. The wicked people. Was it the Epstein files? And who's got him busted? Who's got him busted? Not a single soul, right? Wicked people. It's everywhere. I got pictures of the guy. I've been trying to get him to come on the show, right? To come on the show, the first thing he says, there's two people he hates. Two people in the cryptid community he hates. One is Vic Cundiff, and the other is Jody Cook. He hates those two people. And I'm trying to figure out why he hates those two people. He say he hates Jody Cook because he hunts his people. That's what he said. That he hunts his people, or should I say, the werewolf. And for another reason that he hasn't told me, he hates Vic Cundiff. Those are the two people he hates. And I've been knowing this guy since he was a teenager. Been trying to help him out for years. I think I might have a picture of him, but I don't know. But I guess I can show a picture of him, but I don't know. I think I'd rather ask him. But let me see. I got something of him. Maybe of our conversation. Uh, let me find it real quick, brothers and sisters. It's in my phone. There it is. Just so you can see that I'm not bullshitting you. You know, I speak in truth. I'm not gonna share his name because I don't want nobody trying to mess with him. But I will share the conversation of what I'm talking about. Here we go. Let me share what he said. Here we go. Here's the conversation I he we because I've been trying to get him on the show, right? That's what he's saying, that he's true-blooded, pure wolves, stay silent among humankind, 100% fact. Then he said, are you associated with Jody Cook or Vic Condoff, DM research team? I said, I know who they are. Vic got Dogman Encounters on YouTube. Then he says, yeah, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. And then he says, Jody as well. So this guy, I've been trying to get him on the show for a while. I believe that he might be being spiritually attacked. Of what I see, what I've seen throughout the years, I lost contact with him for about 2, 3 years. Last time I knew, he had hurt himself. But then I found him again, and we've been talking. I said I'm keeping his name confidential. I said I would share the conversation, but I'm not gonna share his name. It's somebody that y'all don't even know, that nobody knows. I've been trying to help him out spiritually for years now. Helping him out spiritually. But it's a person that claims that he is a werewolf. That's what he claims. I got pictures of him and everything, but I don't want to share his pictures. Not unless he gives me permission. Not unless he gives me permission, I will. He just don't wants to be ridiculed. But yeah, there you go. He said that his bloodline comes from Oklahoma. Let me see what kind of native he is. Yeah, one day I'll share our conversation here, but yeah, I mean, what's the difference between this guy, right? What's the difference between this guy and the people that are lying to the community, right? No difference. There's no difference. That's what I'm trying to. That's why I brought this up. That he claims to be a werewolf, but what's the difference between him, to the people that are lying to the community? No difference. Different kind of crazies, right? Because one is crazy and the other one is crazy for money, but that's no difference. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think he's being spiritually targeted big time. He's been going through a lot for years. But yeah, I've been knowing him for years. I knew him when he was a teenager. Uh, yeah, he's up there in age now. He's like in his 20s, late 20s now. Yeah, if I were to show you his pictures of him, then you see where I'm coming from, where he believes he's the werewolf. You know, is he's the one that contacted me. He contacted me and he wanted me to take him to where I had the encounter with the six. I had two people contact me, um, from my experience that I had in Elms Grove. There was a him and there was a female that they wanted me to take him to the alpha. They wanted me to take him to the alpha because they said that they were part of the pack, that they were lost, that they wanted me to take him to the alpha. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, epilepsy, if you look into it, it's called demonic possession. Epilepsy, demon, no difference. You hear all the stories of the nurses with dementia patients. There we go. Want me a little mini. I try to help out the young man when he was a teenager. He was being demonized, man. But he stuck to the same story about werewolf. But demons will make you think that way. Demons will make you think you're a werewolf. They'll make you think you're a vampire. They'll make you think you're a reptilian. They'll make you think you're a Bigfoot. They'll make you think whatever. And especially if they have if they got you bonded, they'll do that. I had a woman. There was a woman, another woman that would contact me. She was always showing me prints of supposedly handprints of dogman, that the dogman this, dogman that. And sometimes when I would look at the handprint, it looked like a handprint of a woman, which was like her handprint. And it's like, okay, let me see how I can help her. So, she's sending me all this handprints, and the handprints don't look like a dogman. They look like a regular person's handprint. I don't see no claws or nothing. It looks like her handprint. Then one day, she contacts me saying that she's seen the dogman in the woods looking at her, and then that she went home. And that day or that evening, that the dogman was living in her living room. Living in the living room. Not saying that she didn't see anything. And then she was talking to me through Messenger. I said, he's looking at me right now. He's sitting on my couch. And the dogman is looking at me. And I said, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to ask you a question. Did you tie bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name when you sinned it by the woods? She said, no. I said, well, then it followed you into your house. This is what I want you to do. I tell her, I want you to get something pure. You got any olive oil? She says, yes, I got some olive oil. I said, I want you to grab the olive oil and place heavenly crosses on the windows and your doorways. And she was doing it, and I was saying the Our Father on my end, and she was passing by it. She said, he's looking at me. So I told her to keep on putting the heavenly crosses on the doorways and the windows. And I was praying the Our Father. I said, don't pay attention to it. After she did all this and we prayed in every room, I told her, go up to the dogman, if it's still there in your living room. I want you to look directly at it. And I want you to say, this is my house. You're not welcome here. I take authority over you in Jesus Christ's name. I tie, bind, and rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. She said that to it. Guess what happened? Vanished. Vanished. She said it disappeared. And she said there was like a nasty pestilence smell that it left behind. And after that, she's seen it one more time, not in her home, out by the woods again. And she said this time when she seen it, she did the same thing she did in the house that I told her to do. Take authority over in Jesus Christ's name. And it disappeared. And she told me, I don't know how I can thank you. He said, you don't have to give me anything. I do this because I care about humanity. And this is what I'm supposed to do, is help out people that are in the need of help. And she told me, thank you, Abe, for everything you've done for me. Not saying that these people are not seeing things out there. I'm not saying that Jumpsuit Zero didn't see anything out there, or that some of these people that seen what they claim to be a Bigfoot, they're not seeing anything. But the question is, Jumpsuit Zero, I got a question for you, since you're here in the lobby. When you seen what you seen, whenever, however old you were, maybe you didn't know the things that I'm telling you right now. Did you put that spirit to the test? Did you tie, bind, and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name? So there's a question that I'll leave out there tonight. Is to any Bigfoot people, have you all put in those spirits of what you've seen to a test and tie, bind, and rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ? Is my question for y'all. Did you put it to the spiritual test and test that spirit by tie, bind, and rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ? Yeah, gotta put the spirit to the test. Serial killers. I got a story for you, Jump Zero, of a serial killer. There was this young boy where I lived in Elms Grove. He was a Puerto Rican. He was from New York, and I guess he was willing and dealing, right? Let me drink some. He was willing and dealing. The only reason I knew him is because when I knew him as a teenager, and he would come play basketball with my nephews. And one day, my nephew come, talk to me, say, so and so's in trouble. He needs some help. So I talked to him, and I asked him what's going on. He said he can't really say nothing because he's affiliated with some gang or something. But he tells me the story where they were having a party, and somebody at the party stole the money that they had, that they were supposed to give the people they were buying things from, right? Drugs, whatever. So they didn't have the money to pay him, and they said they were going to come for him. That they were going to come for his mother and his brother. They were going to kill him if they didn't pay for the money. So, do you want to? I can talk to these people. Maybe we can work out a deal or something. You know, because he was just he was only like 16 years old. So he said, "No, this is my problem. I'll take care of it." It stayed that way, right? It stayed that way. Like 2 weeks later, it's an afternoon, it's Sunday afternoon, and me and my son are at the swimming pool. I'm sitting in the chairs because epilepsy. I have epilepsy, take medicines for it, from a blow to the head from the military that caused the epilepsy. So, and the medicines, that I was taking, I couldn't be in the sun. So I was in the shade. My son was swimming in the water, and I hear the gates open. And it's a kid and two other guys. Uh, you got the Puerto Rican, a white guy, and an African American. And they come stand in front of me. And the Puerto Rican kid looks at me and he tells me, I can kill you right now and nobody can do nothing about it. And he said, I'm not afraid of you. And I look at him and say, why would you say that? I'm your friend. And then he says something to the other two kids. And then he tells me again that he could kill me. There's nothing I can do about it. Then I said, why would you say that to me? Because I was maintaining my love foundation, even though I'm highly trained to be able to handle situation immediately, automatically, first in nature, with just take care of the enemy, and I'm talking about, I'm trained to be able to eliminate a target very easily. But then my spirit told me, don't go that route, because it would have been nothing but death blows for everybody that was in front of me because they were together. So I'm going to take my Heavenly Love Foundation, and I told him again, hey, I know your mother, I know your brother, they're good peoples. Just like, I know they love you, man. When I said that to him, whatever was there left when I said love. And then he looks at the guys and he said, let's get out of here. And they're just looking at me and they walk out of the gates and stuff. And they drive away in a black truck, little Nissan black truck. So in the following day, from that moment, I hear the news that did you hear? It's like, what's going on? He said, remember that the kid that used to come play basketball with us, Unc? I said, yeah. He said, he's in jail. They busted him. I said, what do you mean they busted him? For drugs? I said, no. Yeah, he was driving around in a stolen vehicle. The couple that owned the vehicle, he killed. He had burned them, killed them and burned them. And then in the open field over here, he killed two strippers. So, and the other guys, they were in jail too, but they let them go because they said that they were fearing for their lives, that they were living in fear. But that was a lie, because when they were in front of me, they all had the same look in their face, like they wanted to do something. They said that he made them handle the bodies of the dead people and bury them, well, burn them and bury them, because if not, he was going to kill them. They said, that's what they said. That was their cop out to not go to jail, but that's not what I seen. So basically what I'm saying is, that's a serial killer, right? He done killed 4 people within a short span of 4 people. He had killed 4 people. And I'm thinking the ones that made him do that was the people he owed money to. So those people owed them money and those strippers owed them the money. So if he wanted to be, I guess, free of what he owed them, he had to do the dirty work. And I think that's what he did. And they give him 75 years life, or 75 years in prison. So, I've run into serial killers. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. But I was able to break through the serial killer because it's being guided by something else, that I was able to break the demon that at that time had control over him. When I spoke about that his mother and brother loves him, that's when the demon left. So yes, if you're in a situation, put the spirit to the test. Tie, bind, and rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ will be the easiest way. Or you could talk about love, but tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name the unclean spirit that has control of the vessel. They would be my suggestion for you. Yeah. Well, there's serial killers, there's pedophiles, cults. They kill people, kill children, eat children, kill children, molest, rape, whatever you want to call it. Very evil people in this world. And they're everywhere. Real evil people. Some is that's what they do. That's what they practice. That's what they're about. Is doing evil works, brothers and sisters. Don't let that let your vessel or temple be corrupted. That's basically what I'm saying. That's why I'm sharing these stories with you, man. Sharing these stories with you is don't corrupt your vessel. Um, if you get a flashback to something that you went through, type and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. If you dream about something of the past, type and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, because what's happening is the bad that happened that moment, that day, is trying to come back to affect your life in the present. So it's something that was demonically influenced, but you have to take authority over it and type and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. Yeah, I'll see what I can find next time. I'll find. I can remember. I'll see if I can find a thing of the young man. Yeah, it was sad, man, because I knew the kid since he was like 13. My nephews were younger, so he would always come play shoot the hoops with them and stuff. I said, go ahead. Or sometimes I'll go out there with them and play basketball with them too. It's just sad, man, that sometimes you're put in a situation and things happen that way. I just felt bad for the guy, but he was a kid. That's why we have to protect our children, because children can be influenced very easily, just like what happened to him. But yes, man, spiritual warfare is very real. Not to have anything against anybody, I'm just trying to awaken y'all spiritually that the only way you're going to be able to fight these things is through your faith and believe in Jesus Christ. That's the only way. To have a relationship with Him in order to be able to fight spiritually. But of course, everybody's upbringing is different. You got different religions, different beliefs, different cultures. Me, all the wisdom and knowledge that I have is from my experiences of the things that I've done to overcome my trials and tribulations. I'm talking to you right now, and I got this. Let me see if I can put this up. Let me light this up a little bit. I got me. It's a little eagle. about this little eagle. It's a labradorite. I got it for protection around my neck. I got a tree of life, a chakra around my neck, and of course my black tourmaline and selenite. Jesus Christ is the ultimate protector. Yeah, let me show this close up. It's a face of an eagle, but I got it. The reason I got the face of the eagle is because my grandmother. If I would show pictures of my grandmother, you could tell, on both sides of the family, there's native blood in us. I mean, look at me, native blood. My grandmother, she she nicknamed me Aguila, which means eagle, and that's why I have about this eagle, because that was my nickname when I was a kid, was Aguila, eagle. So that was passed down to me from my grandmother. And you know what's weird about it is when you see the Anunnaki, Brother Josh Turner talks about, don't they have a face like of an eagle or some kind of bird? Oh, she named me Aguila, and I asked her, why are you nicknaming me Aguila? She said, because that's your nickname. That's who you are, Aguila, an eagle. That's what she tried to tell me. And then, I told my son that I passed that name over to him because my son, he carries my name, so I call him Aguila also, eagle. But if you really think about it, my grandmother, she come from Mexico. Uh, there's a lot of things there that come to play when it comes down to nicknames, and if the eagle is affiliated with the Apakulu shapeshifter, with the, I should say it, the Watchers, Anunnaki, then Lechusas affiliated with that, then the other ones that are affiliated with it would be the ones that live in the ocean, which are mermaids, or what people call sirens, in which I remember my grandmother had her restroom, and the restroom she had, it was a shower. It looked like it was a coral from the ocean, right? And then on the walls, she had mermaids, seashells, and all kinds of things. And I asked her, I said, why is there so many mermaids and seashells? And she said, those are my sisters. This is what my grandmother told me. Those are my sisters. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm talking about, like 5 or 6 years old. So now that I'm older and I hear all the stories, I was like, that's what it means, that she belongs to the sisterhood. You gotta remember, you had the harpies and the sirens, which were the women that slept with the Watchers that created the Nephilim, in which they changed form for sleeping with the Watchers, in which it became harpies and mermaids. So what am I saying to y'all? Is that the sisterhood of the Brujas, witches, is on land and on water. They're affiliated because of the women that slept. Well, of course we got Lilith, but the woman that slept with the Watchers, the Apakulu Watchers, the ones with the face of the eagle, the face the face of the one that's part fish, part human, and the other one that's looks human with the pouches. No difference in the ones that they have uh, in Egypt. You got some that have the eagle face. You have some that look like a lizard or reptilian because they're all of the same. You know, I'm just saying that I could never figure out what you would mean that those are my sisters. And she would say, I love my sisters, but she would tell me that she was a witch. I found out that, you know, other ways. How you doing, Sister Nelly? So, no, it's good when I listen to all the stories that people say because I can reflect on that of things that I remember. So, this is going to get interesting. Like when I was battling las lechuzas, las brujas, they were tormenting me because they followed me from Mexico. Because I stayed with a medicine woman to once my brother got cured that I had to stay with her for a couple of months or I don't know how long I stayed with her. And I finally came back to the States. The lechuzas, right? Brujas, they would come to our house on Saturdays, which is supposed to be the Sabbath day. They would come to the house and all kinds of crazy things would happen, supernatural things, paranormal things, flying dishes, banging on the walls, running on top of the roof, banging underneath the house, tapping on the windows, banging on the windows, wiggling on the doors, the lechuzas brujas laughing on the trees. You hear kids laughing outside, demons. So much activity that would happen. It was like every Saturday, as far as I can remember. Till I say, enough of this, you know, because what happens when you go through the same things over and over, you get used to it. So I said, I'm not afraid. And I went outside, started going outside. You know, I was already older. I was already like 11. I was a pitcher, and I could see the lechuzas on the tree. I was trying to get my brother Jack to go out there with me, and he would hit over the rock and take a run inside the house. And I wasn't afraid. And I looked at him, and I'll tell him to leave, and they would just laugh at me. I mean, this big old bird-like black creatures. You know, you want to call them harpies with the face of a woman. That's what I was seeing, right? Harpies, lechuzas. So I started hitting them with the rocks. I mean, I was a pitcher, so I was hitting this bird. You could hear the thud, and you could hear like the lechuza or the bruja go. Uh. Well, I was hitting her with the rocks real hard. The next thing you know, out of the darkness, because we live in the same lot, it was a 4 lot. My grandmother comes, and she looks at me, and she says, "You're not afraid of that?" I said, "No, Grandma," and I'm hitting them with the rocks. And she goes like this, "Don't worry about it. I'll go take care of it." She goes over by the tree and says something. I don't understand what she's saying. And all the brujas or lechuzas they all fly away. Then she comes to me and she tells me, "Tell your mom that I took care of it." She left, and that was kind of like the last time that we seen the lechuzas or brujas come to our house. Because I don't know what she told them, but they flew away. In order for her to do something like that, she had to have some kind of power, some kind of influence over something, right? So the following day, she calls me and tells me that for me to go to the store with her, and my mom told me go with her, you know, because she. So I went with her. She was already old, so she's pointing with her cane what items to put in the basket. You know, we're walking around, and then went to this aisle and says, "Oh, I forgot to get the. Remember that little thing over there in the other? Go get it for me." So as I go around the aisle, there was an old lady standing there, like she was waiting for me, and she's looking at me real ugly. This lady is banged up on the right side. She's got bruises on her legs, on her arms. She's wrapped up in white, like band-aid stuff, you know, the wrapping. She's got a black eye, missing a tooth. She's like all messed up from her right side. And I just ignore her, you know, go around her, go over there with my grandmother and I give her the thing, and then we just keep on walking. Then when I get home, I'm like, wait a moment. I seen where she had all the bruises. And I remember how it was facing the house. I said, that was a bruja. The old lady was a bruja that came to my house. That she got beat up with the rocks. That I banged her up with the rocks. You know, caliche. Caliche is like limestone. I was hitting her with it. What do we got here? Let's see what we got here. We got a wolf. I see a wolf. So yeah, now that I'm getting older, I'm remembering more things. Oh, it's Wolf. How you doing, brother Wolf? I'm remembering more things that it makes sense how, because I live near the coast, Raymondville, Texas. The ocean is only 30, I think it's 34 miles to make to the port. Uh, the stories of the mermaids. What happened to my grandfather? You know, which was on my mom's side. I can tell you that although that exists in the spiritual realm. Um, my grandfather was a fisherman. I mean, he was a hard worker. He liked going fishing on the weekends. He had a boat. He was fishing in Port Mansfield. I guess as he was out there, the bad storm came through, and he flipped his boat upside down. The waves were big, and he was treading water, and you could see the land and the lights in the distance, but the waves were pretty big. Um, he said that he was treading water, trying to go to land, and the waves were huge. That he heard his name being called from one of the waves, and when he looked, he said was seen to be my grandmother that I never got to meet. That he called her Flora, who was his wife. That she had her hands open, calling him to come to her, to come to her, and then like trying to get him to go to her. Then he said he freaked out and he just started swimming. Like swam and swam with the waves hitting him, and he was just swimming ashore. He made it to shore, got in his truck, drove 34 miles, made it back to his house because he was freaking out what happened to him out there. So as he's asleep in his room, that when he woke up, he was being dragged out the window by something. And what was he said what was dragging him out the window was not his wife or his, because she was deceased. He said it was a like a green fish like creature, or mermaid, sirena. Looked real ugly from the face, siren. That he grabbed his shotgun because he was sleeping with a shotgun beside him, and he blasted the wall and everything. That it let him go, and that for about a whole week, his siren was kept on coming to the house trying to take him. And that was the last time that my grandfather ever went fishing. He stayed away from the ocean. So he stopped going fishing, but he had an encounter, supposedly with a siren. And I've heard through other people that live like in Florida that there is like a cult, like witches, but there's witches that believe from the ocean, like the sirens. I guess, or what some people might say, the Leviathan. There's people that believe in those things, so they give power to that. But there's witches that live along the coastline that is what they believe in, whether it be in Houston, Galveston, down there in the Rio Grande Valley. That's what they believe in, and that's what they worship. And on land, you got the other witches that worship, of course, that take the manifestation, should I say, of the lechuzas. So what I'm saying, if a witch can take a manifestation of a lechuza, that will mean there's other witches that live near the coastline that could take the manifestation of a siren. So it was Brother Wolf. How you doing, Brother Wolf? Let me catch up on the comments. I'm way behind here. Yeah, man. Once I get settled, tomorrow we're closing on the house, and once I get moved and everything, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about all that. So I got one creepy for you, dealing with my grandmother when she passed away. Now that right there is something that I'll never forget, when she passed away. Uh Possibly, if possibly, I mean, some people say that he was high on something, but there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, Bermuda Triangle, people disappear in the Bermuda Triangle, and then sometimes they reappear like 20 years later or 10 years later. You've heard of where they're trapped in like a time gap, or what do they call them, like a wormhole or whatever, that they'll surface up later on. Yeah, I was just gonna do a quick live here, but man, y'all got me saying stories now. Uh, Jumpsuit Zero got me saying stories right now. Nah, I'm just playing, man. Got off the subject of Bigfoot. That's no different because if you really look into it, there's a lot of more than similarities, a lot of in common with a lot of things that are out of balance. Thank you. So the when my grandmother passed away, I was at the funeral home. All the family members were there. I know we had a big family, a lot of cousins. We're all there, and I had already been up there with see my grandmother in the coffin and stuff. And I was sitting in one of the the benches. As we're sitting there, I hear like a big gust of wind open the doors, like a gust of wind open the doors wide open from the funeral home. And then when I'm looking at the people, it's like people are like frozen, like they're talking, but their mouth is open, like there's no time, right? No time. And I'm looking everywhere, and everybody is not talking or anything like that. Like next thing you know, I see three figures come in, two very tall, and one on the ground that's crawling, not crawling, looks like it's crawling. And they go down the middle, and I'm seeing them. The two of them that are standing are very tall. They're in black. The one on the ground is moving like a snake, crawling on the ground. They go all the way to the coffin, and the one that is moving like this and goes and starts saying something. I understand what they're saying. It's not Spanish. It's not English. A different language. They start saying something, and I'm looking at everybody, but nobody's moving or nobody's witnessing what I'm seeing. I think my sister says she's seen the same thing, because so we're witnessing this. Then they walk backwards. The starts moving backwards. They go all the way backwards, and as soon as they exit out of the funeral, the doors close. As soon as the doors close, everybody starts talking, like time goes back to normal. And I'm like looking at my mother, and everybody's talking and stuff, and I'm like, what the F was that, in my mind? And I'm trying to find out if anybody's seen that, what I seen. I told my mother, and my mother's like, oh, just in your imagination, nothing like that happened, blah, blah, blah. She's like, it's just you because you're missing your grandmother and all this. I said, no, it's like I literally seen this. I think my sister Beatrice seen the same thing because she said she remembers. But the two were very tall. I don't know what they were, but the one on the ground looked like he had a tail. Was it a reptilian? Was it the serpent seed? I don't know. All I know, he was moving like a snake, and it looked like he had a tail. What they were, I do not know. Good night, Sister Cynthia. But in saying that, oh man, we're at 3 hours and 27 minutes. I'll never forget that, what I witnessed that day. I can probably. I'm not a good artist. I probably would draw what happened that day, but this one I knew because the same thing that happened there happened at the church. Same exact thing. The only difference in the church is the main doors open. They were huge, and they went down right down the middle of the church. Did the same thing by the coffin, and then they backed up. When they backed out, the doors closed. It's kind of like the priest was stuck like this. He had like the thing with the holy water. He was stuck like this. The holy water was stuck in the air. In the air. It never fell down. It's kind of like there was no time. And it's like in the motion, and you can see the water coming out, but it's stuck in the air. Next thing you know, when they leave and the door closes, it goes in motion, and the water lands on the ground. But the water was stuck in the air for a good. It was like a 2 minute thing, 2 minute like around 2 minute, 3 minute thing where they go up and then go back out. So yeah, there's a lot of influences in this world, man. If you really pay attention spiritually, you'll be able to know who's who. It's not that hard. The enemy shows itself all the time. Think I know because my grandmother was well known. Uh, I did see her again after. I'm talking about she passed away like around 1980. This is in Elms Grove in around 2014. I hear my little Chihuahua dog barking. I go outside, go look in the front of the street, and I see what seems to be a woman walking in the middle of the street. She's not that tall. She's got black on, and she's like moving to side to side. But before that, I was hearing like an owl sound, making the hoot sound. So I'm seeing this woman, the way she's walking seemed very familiar, and I was like, okay. So I said, "Excuse me," and they just keep on walking towards the park. I'm walking down the road behind her or whatever it is. So they go to where the trees are, and next thing you know, I don't see her no more. And I said, "Hello, can I help you?" And when I say that, all on top of the trees is nothing but owls. Or I just see eyes looking at me, whether they're owls or lechuzas, whatever they are. They're all looking at me, and what I count is like so many of them. Like I would say like 100 just eyes looking at me from the trees. Then I say, "Our Father, who art in heaven," start praying the Our Father. Start praying the Our Father, and next thing you know, I don't see them no more. They're gone. Yeah, you know, but the presence that I felt, because I always felt the presence, there was a certain perfume she would wear and the smell of money. She always kept money in her purse, so she had a certain smell of perfume and money. But anyways, good night, jumpsuit. And I'm sorry, man. If I don't mean to offend you in any kind of way. I was just speaking here on spiritual encrypted encounters, brother. But I am going to call it a night now. Just want to say thank you for those that tuned in late at night. Uh, I've had a lot of experiences that are things that I've been through for me to come out to the conclusions of the things that I say because I've experienced it. I've been there. I've seen it. I mean, I try my best to capture as much evidence as possible because I do believe it's important for the truth to be said. Right. So you got to capture your evidence to place it out there because people need to know the truth of what's really out there. Me dealing with the things that I've dealt all my life, I know what it is about. It's about the balance. Who's gonna shift the balance to their favor? Everything that's happening around the world right now is about the balance. But in saying that, anybody got any questions for me? You're more than welcome to ask. Answer any questions before I go. But I've learned from everything, right? Because you can tell when something is of goodness because of the feeling you get when it's of goodness. You feel that love, you feel that the heavenly uh, connection, but then at the same time, you when it's of the negative side, your senses get triggered. You feel a certain way, like there's danger around you. It's all dealing with a balance. So basically, what I'm saying to you is, what is it that you want to feed of the balance? Me, I rather have a heavenly love foundation because that feels very good, and that's why where I stand with the heavenly love foundation through Jesus Christ. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, thank you all again for tuning in to Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. We talked about a lot of things here. Later on tonight, we have open mic night. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. We'll see. Depends on what happens, with the closing of the house tomorrow. But in saying that, thank you, Brother Justin. In saying that, love, light, and blessings to every single one of y'all. I was Lieutenant Heavenly Love Foundation. And remember, you're never alone. Jesus Christ is always with you. All you got to do is call upon Him, and He will assist you spiritually. This is Brother Apesius. Sorry, see us signing off for Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Good night, everybody, and God bless you. Peace out.